Evening, everyone, and welcome to the June 25th meeting of Lakeville Conservation Commission. We are being recorded by LakeCAM, and I'm obliged to ask if anyone else is recording. Seeing no one, we'll go around and introduce ourselves.
John LeBlanc.
Joshua Faraday.
Nancy Yates.
Joseph Chamberlain.
Michelle Bouchard. Okay. First on the agenda tonight is 3 Mona Street.
Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, so, discussion and possible vote regarding determination of applicability. Yeah, that's not coming off the lips easy, sorry. So this is for 2 Edgewater Drive, who basically had a notice of intent that ran out.
Wait a second.
No.
Mona Street.
3 Mona Street
Oh.
is a violation.
It's a violation, all right. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's not here. Okay, so, would you introduce yourself?
Oh, sure. My name is Gary Jasperson. I'm
Yes.
at 3 Mona Street. And a couple of months ago, I did submit a request for a simplified dock license.
Okay,
And I was put on continuance. Since then, I've received a certified letter from the commission
okay,
saying that I
Okay.
was,
I got it.
okay.
All right, I was on the wrong one. All right, and an enforcement order, and that enforcement order, I think we asked for a notice of intent.
Correct.
Okay,
So, I have, contracted with, Zenith Consulting Engineering.
okay,
I have a signed contract with Jamie, who's away on vacation right now. And they will be handling the notice of intent and also the chapter 91 with the state.
You understand what the violation is for, though? It's not pertaining to the dock, it's pertaining to
For the
concrete pad
concrete,
you poured there.
right, it was spelled out pretty well in the
Okay,
enforcement
all right,
order.
just
wanted to make sure it's
What-
clear.
What
no.
Jamie needs to do, and I'm sure he does know what he needs to do.
Okay.
But I think you're just getting the, as long as it's going through.
Oh, yeah, no, I
DEP,
came,
you're
I
gonna
came
get
to
the-
do a dock.
Yep, right,
And I was questioned about concrete
right,
as a retaining wall to shore up an existing retaining wall that was pre-1984.
right. And that was done without a permit, so you're just backing up and getting the permit and showing what
And showing what was done,
what was
yes.
done, yes,
So it's actually well documented what was done.
okay,
There's pictures and videos and the entire process of how it was built, so Jamie should have no
all
problem.
right, so a notice of intent will be forthcoming,
Yes, it will be.
okay. All right, that's all we asked for, and I guess we're getting it, Jamie will, yeah,
Yeah,
So there was a request for determination of applicability in front of us.
okay. And-
Did we ever vote on that?
Yeah,
We did.
we did.
Yes, it's
We
been
voted
rejected.
for
We gave
the
a positive,
okay.
yeah, yep, we did,
yeah,
So this is just an update of where you are in the enforcement.
correct,
Okay.
correct.
So do we need to continue this?
Yeah.
no, we haven't got it
No.
yet.
Yeah,
There'll
there's
be a
nothing-
notice of
No.
intent.
Okay.
When that
Yeah,
comes,
there's
then we'll
nothing
read
to
the public notice
All right.
and the whole,
Fair enough.
Can I ask if there was any waivers I should be aware of that would speed up this process?
no, no, yeah.
Yes,
no.
you can ask. No, there are no
Okay.
waivers.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering because my neighbor at 1 Mona Street had a buttress wall built post 1984. And that was never licensed, and it's basically shoring up a pre-1984 wall, which is very similar to what I'm doing. Yet he got a simplified dock plan and no violation.
Okay.
So I'm just curious, I'm looking for fairness, I guess.
Okay. Well, that must have been, his dock permit came from,
DEP.
DEP, But if something like that happened and we didn't know, I mean, it was brought to our attention on your case, so we had to deal with it, but, and we saw pictures of how it was being done.
Mhm.
So we had to follow through and have you say, you know, how many cubic feet. That's it with DEP, is like how many cubic feet of bank you impacted and all the
Mhm.
questions that, Jamie's gonna answer for us. So,
Okay.
but if we don't know, there's probably,
And there's
you know.
nothing retroactive for that?
But the simplified license that your neighbor has, does it include his retaining wall and a dock?
No, just the dock,
Just the dock?
yeah.
But he constructed a similar retaining wall to yours?
The previous owner did that, and I didn't know if that's why.
No violations run with the land, not the owner. So if you're making us aware of a violation at One Mona, we can look into that.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
are, so are you officially making us aware of the one?
Fairness, I mean, he's, I'm going through a process that he didn't have to go through, and I just wanted to, you know, fairness, that's it.
right, but in fairness, we have to have some kind of evidence that that was done, at what time. We had pictures of how yours was done.
Oh,
Um,
I do have some pictures I could leave with you.
okay,
I've only got 4 copies.
that's okay.
fine.
We'll
You can
look at- we
go that way.
share. Thank you.
Are you our acting agent?
I guess I am, kinda. Actually, that's another thing we need to talk about tonight, but probably not in the middle of this, is getting, somebody to come in.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Um, the scenario that's in front of us is a classic, weaponization of the Conservation Commission, is how I like to refer to it. I'll make a motion that we have our acting agent look into a possible violation at One Mono Street.
Can I just ask well, I'll second the motion.
Okay.
But can I ask a
Discussion.
question?
Yeah.
So if it was done by the previous owner, what recourse do we have?
Same thing, it runs with the property,
Yeah, it goes with the property.
unfortunately.
Do you know when this was put in?
Well, the only pictures I had showed that it didn't exist in 1987.
87 wasn't there.
Yeah, it wasn't there, but I don't have any pictures between then and, I know it was done by the early 2000s, because that's when I bought my property.
But you know it was done by the previous owner, not by,
I do,
okay.
There's neighbors who have been in the neighborhood for over 40 years and witnessed the poor.
And how do you know that they didn't have a permit for all the work that they did? Just out of curiosity. Somebody told you that they
Again, the neighbors, yes.
And we don't have anything in our records for that property, do we, Nancy?
I'll have to look.
Okay.
I
We'll have
can't
to
say off
research
the
that.
top of my head if there had been anything to come through, but, or to see what's on their chapter 91 license.
Yeah, take a look at their license.
Didn't we just approve this for a 91 license? So it's after the fact?
Well, we'll see what the license looks like. We just did a probably basic RDA and said
Right.
whatever, but when, they went to DEP, we'll see what their license looked like and what it's for.
Yeah. So there's a motion and a second.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Aye. Okay?
we'll look into it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
All right, so I'm gonna put this in this pile. Okay, second up is Pinecrest Village. And we have a continuance to 7/23
So moved.
has been requested.
Second.
All right.
For what reason?
Continued
do we-
to, because just came back, the peer review just came back and, the engineer needs time to respond.
Okay,
All right, so 7/23 at 7 PM, okay?
okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, off Freetown Street. This is a little more complicated. This is for Rocky Woods. Because such large crowds turn out for what's happening on Rocky Woods, I'm gonna post a separate meeting for this. The peer review has come back and he's gonna make a presentation. I don't think it will fit here. I had, signed up for the library and come to find out today that the concerts in the park at the
Oh.
library start on the same day. And if we have a meeting at 6 o'clock with 100 people,
No,
then
no parking.
there's no parking for
Yeah.
this, people coming, and a lot of seniors come to those concerts
Yeah.
and they'll have to walk 20 miles and they won't come, and they paid quite a bit, the Arts Council paid quite a bit for the band. So I, called today and luckily booked the room at the senior center. So I would like a motion to continue this to July 9th at 6 PM at the senior center.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
How many people does the senior center seat?
I'm not sure.
Not
But
that-
I think that I went to the last CBA meeting and the crowds are kind of dwindling, especially since you can watch them on cable.
Yeah,
And the ZBA meeting is the night before on the 8th at the high school.
is that the one you wanted us to go?
Well, I
meet
thought
with?
maybe we could make our presentation there, but it didn't work. I couldn't
Okay.
get it together and I had to have something together by tonight because we have to continue it to a time specific, so
Okay.
it got a little crazy. So I booked this, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, because I booked the senior center for 6 PM. But now we're gonna be posted for our regular meeting at 7 PM. So this can't go on and on and on. The peer reviewer will do the presentation, 20 minutes, and then we'll have 40 minutes that people can ask questions and the peer reviewer can answer the questions, and then we'll
On to our regular meeting.
go on, close that down and go on to our regular meeting at 7 o'clock. Because we will have to do it again, because this is just our peer reviewer telling what he came up with. Then we'll have to have another meeting so that Outback can respond to what our peer reviewer has said. I think they changed some flags and stuff, so, it will be another meeting. Maybe we'll do it the same way. We'll see how it goes.
So you're posting for two separate meetings,
I'm posting for 2
Okay.
separate meetings.
But at the
both of-
same place.
both of them at the council on aging.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will have to, seeing as we continue 310 Kenneth Welch Drive that's funny, when we do it, we don't always say the police station, we just say continue to our meeting.
Mm.
So we'll just have to notify them that it won't be here for 310,
Oh.
some of the other ones that we've continued, so. All right, so I have a motion, did I get a second?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Motion and a second for, off Freetown Street to July 9th, 6 PM at the Council on Aging.
Aye.
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 Aye. All right. Good. 1, 2, 3. All right, now to Edgewater Drive.
Did you have people working there in this weather?
Not 8 hour days, but they've been cooking out there.
Were you hosing them down?
They have the
Houses
hoses,
out
and I've been
there.
getting a lot of ice water. I'm Mike Vitowska, 2 Edgewater Drive.
And I'm Maureen Martowska, to Edgewater Drive.
Okay, so I can start my speech I started before all over again?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so these nice people had a,
Wait, this is a new hearing, right? We need to read it in.
it was
This
not,
is a brand new,
Request
It
for
is.
determination.
it's a
Yeah.
brand new request for determination, but, we didn't make them put it in the paper.
oh, okay.
We didn't make them put it in the paper, so I don't have to read it in.
I'll still make a motion to open the hearing.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay.
All in
So-
favor?
Aye,
Aye.
thank you. All right, so I'm dying to make this speech here.
We're trying to put it off as long as we can.
Okay, so these nice people had a notice of intent and didn't get the work done in the time allotted, and the notice of intent ran out, so
The order of conditions ran out.
the order of conditions ran out, so we are allowing them to come back with an RDA to finish up the work, because most of the work is done and you just have a little bit of additional, to do. To complete work, blah, 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 adding, limited stone facade to existing concrete sitting walls, as well as other final touches of hardscaping, clean up construction material, final planting of lawn, to include top coating loam and seeding and flower beds. And the lawn that was already previously seeded needs to be done again because of all the construction.
Yeah, seen it a couple of
Yeah.
times, from the original
Yes.
handmade wall to this wall, and now it's on, do it all over again.
Okay. So, anybody?
This is a negative determination. I'll leave this one to you.
I'll make a motion to issue a, -3 determination with a single condition that the erosion controls stay in place while the lawn is being stabilized.
Second.
And the controls now are relatively new.
There's
Yeah.
one that installed this year, yes, that one's
It's all in really good shape.
closest up the hill. I left the old one on top of the seawall, so that, and then got through the flat area, we had one more place to catch it.
I'm glad I got all this room. Okay, motion in a second?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, see that?
Thank you very much.
And
Thank you.
just a little side note, in the spirit of what you had told me last time, allow me to work on the capstone and the stone facade. Thank you, I got some work done.
Good.
And my excavator wanted to, move the granite for the patios around, but he needed a machine, and that would disturb the we held that off even. I wanted to keep in the spirit, you guys
Good.
being supportive of me, and I do appreciate that. We're gonna continue now and finish things up.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Okay, now we need to open the hearing for a motion to open the hearing for 4 Rachel's Way.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Wetlands Protection Act, the Lakeville Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on June 25th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at the Lakeville Police Station, 323 Bedford Street, on a notice of intent filing. The applicant, Busy and Son Construction, is proposing the construction of a single-family dwelling with on-site septic and well with associated grading and site work within the buffer zone of an existing wetland. The project is located at 4 Rachel's Way, also identified in Assessors Map 14, Block 00. Isn't that 04? Lot 5-3.
05-03.
Yeah, but that's block.
140405.
Yeah, this says 00. but it's 04, I know that, cause I already looked at it. Okay. You're up.
Good evening, Darren Michaelis, Foresight Engineering, here on behalf of the Bizios. This is the last proposal for the subdivision, the last lot to be developed. Proposing a single-family home. As you can see, it's built up because of the groundwater. The septic system is also raised. Minor excavation in the ground, basically removing the top 2 feet, so there won't be any spoils within the 100-foot. Unfortunately, 90% of the lot is within the 100-foot buffer, so there's really nowhere to push everything outside of it. There's a wetland wraps around the back of us too at the bottom of the hill. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Me first. After I talked to you, Darren, I'm trying to get I was concerned about the wetland line, as you know. So I went back and got to get the plan to show that it had been approved under, a different, where is it? Oh, it's right here. There's an open order of conditions.
Yeah, for the road.
roadway, right?
Yep.
Which runs out 7/28/24, but Leo says it's done, basically.
Yeah, the road is probably 9% done, but I didn't file that, so that'll be up to Zenith to file for the COC.
My concern is that the drainage is working before, if you have an open order of conditions on a lot, I just was concerned that.
Oh, the drainage is working. We just had the wettest spring ever and
Right.
it worked.
Okay, that's my concern.
Leo was actually gonna slow the water down a little bit in the swales with some check dams, so.
All right, and,
Yeah, the lot's high and dry, the pond is bone dry now, so everything's functioning properly.
so you're not gonna go for a certificate of compliance until it's built out? Is that,
Let me talk to Jamie. I'll talk to Jamie when we get back, get some documentation. We'll find out.
Yeah, cause the swale's done, the road is paved, the pond is built, but there's still some like site work to be done around the road, so I don't know if you close it and then they're working on the road, if that would.
Is this a private road or?
Yes.
yes,
What's left, stabilizing? the edges
It's
of
mainly
the road?
stabilized, they've got piles of rock still to move around, so there's gonna be some disturbance right next to the road
Well, the
still.
top coat on the road too, right?
Yeah, the top goes down,
Oh, the top coat's down?
No, I understand.
just the binder,
Yeah, just
yeah,
the binder.
yeah, the binder and the grinding.
anybody?
You ready for a motion?
Nobody has any comments?
No, nothing.
Okay, I'd be ready.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing and issue an order of conditions with our standard conditions.
Second.
Discussion? A stern warning, not necessarily to you, but I'm getting pretty tired of nobody's calling in to have the hay bale lines checked,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, he's
just-
got water line still fence out there, so.
Just
Okay, well,
call the office
yeah.
and we'll just,
Yeah, when we start excavation, we'll make sure that you're there before then.
okay, before you start work,
Remember,
call
she
the
knows
office
we
and
live.
somebody will come check it.
She can take a boat over.
Boat over.
I've just noticed lately, it's gotten really lax and
Yeah,
people,
everyone's getting
that's
so
what
busy.
happened to those people right there,
Yep.
it's same thing, so. Okay,
Had a motion in a
a
second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Good luck.
Good seeing you, Joe.
Same here.
Good night.
50 years.
50 years.
Okay, we need another motion to open the hearing for 13 South Kingman Street.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. According to the provisions of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40 of the Wetlands Protection Act, there will be a hearing on the request for determination of applicability, hasty, for removal of existing septic system and installation of a new 1,500 gallon septic tank, 1,000 gallon pump chamber, and 36 infiltrator quick 4 plastic chambers within 100 foot of an intermittent stream.
Oh my
The
God.
location of the project is 13 South Kingman Street, Lakeville, map 15, block 3, lot 25. The public hearing will be held on Tuesday, June 25th, 2024 at 7 PM at the Lakeville Police Station, 323 Bedford Street.
You're up, Niles.
You're up, Niles.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Good evening, for the record, now Zaga from Zenith, here before you for a septic upgrade of an existing failed septic system. So currently, there's two, basically what I call drainage ditches. I think they were probably dug at one time. There's one here and one here. They don't fall, they're not perennial. They don't show on the USGS topographic map. If you run stream stats, it doesn't meet any of the criteria. So it is just an intermittent stream, which really is just associated with the top bank of the stream that has a 100-foot associated buffer. So that's what you see before you. The majority of the work is completely outside of even that. There's a small portion of the tanks that are within it, and some grading of the septic system that is within it. It's all within an existing lawn area. There will be no trees that need to be removed. We are proposing erosion control along the southerly side, as that's where pretty much everything goes, is that way. And then you have the driveway, the existing driveway here. So the only work within the buffer is in this area right here. The other 100-foot buffer associated with this part is over here, which is outside of it. We are showing the water basin because it is a very wet site, as you can imagine. That's why the system is being raised as it is. We'll again put the erosion control up. We're proposing silt sock. Once it's all done, we'll loam and seed for proper stabilization. This has not gone in front of the Board of Health at this time. It's going to go in front of them tomorrow night. I'll be in front of the Board of Health for approval tomorrow night. Where I would assume that we'll get approval. But that's really about it. I'd be happy to answer any questions that the commission has.
Niles,
Yes.
why am I looking at 3 different plans for this? One's dated 2/16/21. Is that the original?
I have no idea.
And then I have this one. 1/12/22.
I only have
I
one.
only have one.
Yeah.
June
They're all
11th, 2024 is the one you.
No, I have that one too. I'm just curious why you even have this, unless somebody just doing
Is
it.
it the same
Oh,
site?
no, this is Fieldstone.
Oh,
That's the
what-
next one.
That's the next one coming up. That's why you're
That's
confused.
right.
There you
Mixed
go.
up. All right,
It's a rough
thank you.
night, it's a rough night
only
here.
one
Oh,
tired
it's-
tonight, right?
It's
I'm looking
okay.
through and I'm going, I
Yeah.
don't have that many plans.
Sorry about that.
Okay, don't be sorry.
Niles, you think those ditches were dug for the bog? It looks like there's a bog out back.
I think so.
Okay.
I do. There is a flood zone associated with this as well.
Okay.
But it's, yeah.
What's in that intermittent stream right now?
As far as,
Flow.
so when I was out there, it was flowing pretty good because it was wet, at the time. I bet you if you go out there now, it's probably not as bad. It drains, so there's a house that's set pretty far back over here. There's almost a pond, right here that it was, coming across the culvert into that pond and then going out. I didn't actually investigate over here as much, as to what was going on there, but there was water flowing through it, for sure. Which I would suspect at this point.
Water flowing everywhere.
Well, yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, again, I truly do believe that it dries up. I mean, just looking at the mapping, doing the stream stats, it doesn't even come close to qualifying for a perennial stream.
Does it have a name?
No, there's no name.
Oh, yeah, then, there you go.
There's no name at all.
Okay. So I think that like, a negative determination should include, Board of Health approval and a siltation barrier check for a -3. Josh, we're ready for a motion?
Yeah, I don't think we need, I mean, he can't do any work unless he gets the approval
That's
from the
true.
Board of Health anyway, so.
All right, so just
It's kind
behavior,
of redundant to
okay,
condition it that way.
And we
Okay.
assume you'll get that because you're improving the situation.
We would hope, but we'll see.
And if he doesn't get it, he'll come back with a different plan.
Exactly.
I'll make a motion to issue a -3 determination, or I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
yep,
Issue a -3 determination with, an inspection of the erosion controls before work starts.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Kyle, are you guys doing anything across the street for your
Oh, you're doing
walk
this?
there?
You-
As far as us, yeah, so, site plans are done, we're just waiting on our architecturals.
Oh, okay.
And then, we're hopefully getting we're gonna be submitting for approval to planning board and to your board very
Okay.
shortly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing this one too?
Yeah, I mean, I was
Okay,
hoping
yeah,
to,
yeah, no, good, well, seeing as nobody else is here.
Yeah.
All right, so I need a motion to open the hearing.
So moved.
Second.
This is for 4 Fieldstone Drive, and, it's basically the same thing as, his notice of intent ran out, and he still has a little bit of work to do. So, you're up, Niles.
So that's essentially it. So this was issued an order of conditions back in, I believe, in April or May of 2021. It's since run out. Our client, we've been in front of you for other issues there, but my client was looking to. The house is built, the majority of the work's done, but he needs some final hardscape, and he needs to stabilize. But in order to do so, I mean, we can't work under an expired order, so, in speaking with Nancy, she suggested, requesting an RDA, just for the minimal amount of work that needs to be done. So that way, in order he can finalize and we can come before you with a certificate. And that's essentially why we're here. And the reason why I gave you the other plan, so this is the design plan that was originally submitted to you, and then I gave you the as-built, just so you could see the progress.
Yeah, that was confusing.
Yeah, no, I understand.
One showed a proposed dwelling, one showed an existing dwelling.
Yeah, so that's why I did it, and just so you can see the progress, because you typically don't get this, the Board of Health had this, but we'll submit this would be submitted to you as well when we do the certificate of compliance request as well, but I just wanted you to have it so you could see the progress on it.
Makes sense now.
There is, the homeowner has replaced, and done a good job of keeping up with the erosion control that's out there. There's a really good silt sock out. The last time I went, it was working very well. There was nothing getting past it. Again, he just needed some time he had a hard time getting a landscaper in there, honestly.
So is that what it is, all landscaping?
It's just landscaping for stabilization. Some hardscape, he's gonna put some stone, and he's doing a few things there. But mainly it's the back of the house. Needs to be, right now it was just gravel, he needs to put the loam and seed and get it all stabilized. So that's all he really has left.
So kind of same thing like the last one.
So is the driveway in Niles?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And the deck on the back of the house?
The deck is in as well.
Porch on the front?
The porch is in and on the front
Okay.
as well.
So you just you didn't need to show all those details for the Board of Health?
That's correct, yeah,
Okay,
so
gotcha.
I don't, and honestly, when we did this as-built, those were not in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so,
Gotcha.
because you can see, this was dated in January of 2022.
Oh, okay.
So those were not in. This is typically what happens is we get asked to go out and do a foundation as-built, and then we do a septic as-built. The final touches kind of get put on after the fact, and we don't typically get that. So that's why you're not seeing it.
And this kind of came before us with a complaint from someone in the neighborhood that he was working without a permit, so. That's how we got around to this, kind of, just like the last one, kind of.
It looks like the house is just squared off on the front as well. You show a bump out next to the porch on the proposed,
Yeah, that's correct.
but, okay.
Yeah, I think in general, it's kind of, it's location-wise, it's exactly the same pretty much. There's just a little bit different bumps here and there, I think that they made, in it.
Yeah.
So we need a motion to close the hearing
So moved.
Second.
with a
Oh.
-3 determination. Do we need to check the hay bale line or the siltation?
It's up and it's good, I think you said.
I did, but, I don't
You
want
want-
to say for sure.
You want, I mean, it's an open permit. If you wanna go check the hay bale line
True,
anyway, you
that's
can.
true.
Well,
Okay.
It sounds like it's already
There's
up.
no hay bales, this is all wattles.
Oh, it's wattle and, is it wattle and silt fence or
It's just wattle.
just wattle?
It's just wattle.
And it's new wattles, it was put in what, this year?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
So we're closing and issuing a -3?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Two.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Okay. 162 Bedford Street. This is really 160 and 162, kind of two.
You sure it's not 160?
Well, it is 160 that we need to issue the order to because they're impacting on 162.
It's all the same owner though, right?
No,
No?
here's 160 and this is 160, but this is 162. And this parking lot back here, they've come through somewhere in here. John, you think it's different than me, and me, I think it's right going into the pond, but they piled up a huge berm. How tall would you say that is, like 2 feet, 3 feet?
No, it's more than that.
All right, yeah,
It's-
huge berm of like bark shavings or something, and, it did not come from that lot either, that with the clear
And
cut.
there's a tree cutter's road, right,
Oh.
going from
Yeah.
there to where they cleared.
But he said none of that went there. I asked him. Well, I don't know, so maybe it's whatever. But
My truck
they
made it
made
very easily.
a hole in the huge berm. They made a separation so that the parking lot can drain into the pond. And there is a silt fence there, but it's kind of, there's dirt on both sides of it, so
Yeah,
it's in a state of disrepair. So this was my start on an enforcement order.
Wait, can we just back up a second?
Sure.
160 Bedford Street is that where that old automotive shop was?
Yep.
yep,
Okay.
Yes.
the old railroad station.
Now it's a parking lot for.
They-
310 Kenneth Wells
310
Drive.
Kenneth Wells Drive. And we believe that the people utilizing the parking lot cleared somewhere in the site and then cleared into the
There's
wetland
already was already an enforcement
for
order here for this
erosion into the
wetland right
wetland.
here.
Okay,
And now they've got that roped off.
okay,
But now they've gone around this whole property here with that huge, and not even knowing where the property lines are really, John.
Great.
John and I went and looked at it together. But they're impacting 162 by draining this whole parking lot into here. I can't tell you exactly on there.
So they went onto someone else's property. Or
Do you
two-
have a copy of this too? What do you got?
I just have the site plan. Yeah,
You're looking at the one with the Cheryl's Way, the roundabout?
no,
Or
I'm
you're
looking at 162.
You're looking at this one?
No,
That's a different one.
it's a different one. I've been there though, I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been on several walkthroughs
162
as
is
the property
This is the
was
subdivision
developed.
plan.
Oh, here's the little, right,
So this is Winway here.
yes, yep.
So,
Here's the little pond sticking out. To me, I think that they bermed around, this wetland comes all the way out to here. The berm's so high, I don't even know.
Wind Way doesn't connect with any of those properties, right? It stops short.
They've got it, no, but they've
Not
got it
officially.
cleared almost to Wynn's Way,
Yeah.
Okay.
and they're parking vehicles back there.
There's
Unregistered.
some
So they went
zoning
onto
stuff
someone
that's
else's
going
lot.
on there
No,
too.
it's part of their lot. This is 160,
yeah.
wraps around the corner, goes
Oh.
all the way, almost all the way
okay,
to Wynn's
I-
Way. Right, Nancy? Am I getting this
Right.
right?
This isn't a property line?
Yes, yeah.
It is a property line, but it's owned by the same people?
This is,
This is 160
Yeah,
and
and
this
this
is
is-
160, it's 160 rear. This is
Okay.
rear Bedford Street.
So
but
they own this and this?
Yes.
yeah,
They cleared within the buffer of the wetland,
all the way around.
and now there's erosion into the wetland.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I
Okay.
understand, thank you.
All right, so to do an enforcement order, extent and type of activity. Large berms extended around resource areas, no flags to distinguish resource areas. Silt fence in very poor condition, intentional break in berm to allow parking lot drainage.
Into a wetland? Yeah, into a wetland.
To a,
And is that?
I would say altering a resource area and its buffer.
oh, wait a minute.
Did you speak to people there?
No,
No, no one there?
I think somebody rents that place out front.
On top of all this other stuff I said, or instead of?
I just throw it all in there.
Okay. Okay, into a wet, so parking lot drainage into a wetland, altering a resource area and its buffer. So what do we want them to, what's the consequence?
Notice of intent.
Well, here's, under the findings,
Revegetation.
how about the activity has being conducted in an area subject to protection, blah, 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 or the buffer zone, so I checked that one.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no valid order or condition, so not that one, nothing's expired.
We didn't make them come in for a notice of intent on the original enforcement on the other side? Right, don't we
They
have,
never did,
we just gave them enforcement and they stopped doing it?
yeah,
Okay.
and they never came back to us with anything. I
And we
don't
know,
remember.
did we ever
I
tell them
don't-
to?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Cause I didn't look that one up. I
Okay.
don't, we should,
Well, yeah, it's, I guess if they never came back, then there's not an open order of conditions, okay?
okay, right, no,
Continue.
we never looked at it.
The person,
The property owner, agents, blah, 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 shall, immediately cease and desist from any activity affecting the buffer zone or other resource areas.
Mm-hmm.
Check. Resource area alterations resulting from should be corrected. No, we don't want them to be corrected. We want a notice of intent. We don't want them correcting it without an order of, we
because
just
the
want-
correction might do a
they need
little
to
more
cease and
damage.
desist.
Resulting from said activity shall be corrected.
No.
Resource
Yeah, I feel
areas,
like we
defense
did-
area.
no,
We've
we
been
don't,
on
Well,
that road with them
we don't want,
before,
we
right?
want them to do that.
With the whole, like, we're not paving.
Yeah.
When it starts out, all I wanna do is.
I wouldn't wanna tell them to do this
All we were doing.
Right.
without our
We
permission.
didn't paint.
Well, we want them to come
just
back with a restoration plan.
Sprayed
Okay.
lines.
But that, wouldn't that be part of the NOI?
It could be the same as the NOI. Yeah.
They
Okay.
didn't do an original
So-
NOI when they did the parking area in the front?
They never came back to us with
No.
anything that I can remember. Lori didn't come up with anything,
I remember,
so.
didn't we have a problem with the wetland line in the front? We
Yeah,
made them
yeah, we
move
told
all
them
the
stop,
fence.
but now there's flags around, they're not using it anymore, but they never came back with any
Okay.
remedy or what they were gonna do or anything that I can.
Well, there's still
They
parking
just
some
decided
cars
to
there,
sneak
aren't they?
around the back.
Oh, yeah, still, not in the front,
In the back.
in the middle, in the back.
And isn't there like larger trucks and stuff back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we wanna give them a date when we
There's all
wanna,
kinds of junk back here.
Boat storage.
I think they got a
Containers.
tractor trailer back there, looks like they're like selling auto parts out of it or something, I don't know. I'm not saying, I don't know if
It
they're
still
selling
looks
it or
better
not.
than
but
when the
there-
tire company.
There's activity back there. So complete the attached notice of intent, do we want a date for the following?
So do we think it was cleared in relation with the parking from 310 Commonwealth Drive, or is it
No, they just.
Oh,
go
it's
the
on.
other operation
They gotta-
of whatever that
Yeah,
site is?
Lindsay
It's
said
the other
they're
operation.
doing-
I think
Okay.
they actually cleared it when they took out all those tires and stuff from back there. Cause this used to be a tire barn,
Okay.
and this guy just threw all his shit back there.
We want a notice of
Stuff.
intent with an engineer plan showing where
Yeah.
all that stuff is right now in
And
the property
identifying the
lines,
wetland
cause we
lines.
think they're even impacting this guy over here. That's this guy that owns a property on Wynn's Way,
Mm-hmm.
right there. We think they've even impacted him, so we need a plan, an engineered plan.
Have we heard from that person? Wins away.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
There's
Well-
some crazy elevations in there, huh? Big hills.
well, maybe were.
Yeah,
Oh,
there might
really?
have been at one time.
might have been,
I
yeah.
mean, you
There-
look at this one, this
there
is
is
an
not.
elevation of
There's more.
101, and right over here it's 86.
Right, well, that's on, well, where did we drive through? John and I drove through here to come out here, cause this is the lot where they were doing clear cutting. They clear cut, this is the lot where they went out onto Bedford Street without a Mass DOT permit on this lot.
Hmm.
But they're clearing here, and they're clearing here, they wanna show the people, but they even, you notice that they didn't, the non-jurisdictional, they're not touching that either. On the other plan that the guy brought, but they can do what they want, as far as we're concerned, they don't need a permit, as long as they're out of the,
100
and they got a
foot.
silt fence in, like, right along here, so. When that's what, I have to call Mass DOT back and say they don't need a permit from us for what they're doing.
Mm.
But like I say, they're impacting their property.
So you want a date specific for the notice of intent?
Yep, for the following.
Our next meeting is the 9th of July.
Mhm.
I don't think that's realistic.
No, what's the second meeting in July?
23rd.
How about that?
Yeah, we'll be
Yeah,
back in the
that's-
police station by then?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's just about a month from now, so it's,
right.
Seems
For the
appropriate.
following, so what do we wanna tell them to do?
We want a notice of intent to.
For, an engineered plan showing works that's been done without a permit.
Yeah. And a restoration plan of the altered wetland and buffer zone.
Say that again?
Uh,
restoration
A
plan.
restoration plan for the altered wetland and buffer zone. If we had a bylaw, we could find them too. Just
Okay, so an engineer plan showing farm property lines. And
So was the garage torn down?
Nope,
That's still
Nope.
out there?
yep, they rebuilt it.
Is that the one
Yeah.
that's right on the road?
Well,
Yeah.
there's a couple different ones. This existing building here on 160, that's
Yeah.
the old railroad station, used to be a
Okay, yeah,
car repair place. That trail is there.
okay.
I don't know, that might be a storage trail or something, that's there. Then there's a house up here on the hill. Is that a house? No, there's a house here. And then there was an old, like, garage here that they renovated into a commercial building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right
a,
on 18. You can
pressure
see it.
washing place or something like that.
Yeah, that's the old railroad station.
Yeah.
You sure? About that. Okay.
All right, and I brought the signature page for this one too, so that everybody can sign. Keeping this. Okay, so,
I guess you probably want to vote, right?
yep,
I'll make a motion to issue an enforcement order to 162 Bedford Street for, violations of the Wetlands Protection Act.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Before we go on to purchase some books and stuff, I'm gonna go on to any other business that may properly come before the Conservation Commission, which is, I talked to Tricia Cassidy in Middleborough, and seeing as Bob's gonna continue to be out for a while, and I don't know where that's gonna go, and that I'm doing this, John's helping me, Joe's helped me, Bob, it's a lot, we need a consultant, and I called Tricia Cassidy, who's the conservation agent in Middleborough, and she suggested, someone in Carver that has young children, and he's a wetland scientist, but he can't really like take a job, but he could
He could do
do
projects.
hay bale lines, and he could do property checks and things like that, because I think we need time in the future. I mean, Nate had suggested, oh, let's get somebody, whatever, but I think we need to take our time to get, if we're gonna get a new agent in the future, that we need to take our time and do it like that. But right now, today,
Do we have
in
money in
case
the
you didn't
budget?
see me when I came in being all like, whatever, there's just too much going on for me to handle by myself.
And it always seems to come out at once.
Right, well, now with Rocky Woods and everything
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
just if somebody to help out with hay bale lines or do a site visit or whatever, that's a wetland scientist, cause you're pointing
know.
out the plants to me and saying you should know this, and that's not we had Mike Schroeder, I'm not the greatest on the wetland plants.
Well, neither
so-
am I. That's why I deferred to you.
Right, so, I think I would like a, motion or whatever, we can hire a consultant out of our wetland fees.
You can make the applicant pay for a consultant. You can use
Just for
53G.
For a hay bale check?
Well, the consultant would review the whole project.
For every project that comes in,
You could.
even little ones?
Even RDAs, yeah. It's gonna be an added expense to the applicant. It's not cheap to do. You're probably looking, instead of an RDA costing $75, it's probably $475, but
Well,
the consultant would do a
right.
whole review of the application,
But
do a
we,
site visit, and give a staff report to the commission.
but we already do that. On an individual, I'd rather do that on an individual basis than we don't do that a lot unless it's a large project. These
No.
projects that came in tonight, the two things that came in tonight, it would be a real simple matter to have somebody go out and just like,
Check the hay
on
bale.
single lots and stuff, you know, on a bigger project, then yeah, we put it on the consultant, but I would hate to see Lakeville residents just doing like what we're doing to do that.
Okay.
We could do both.
We could.
We'll just say, we'll get somebody to just help out to do the simple stuff, and when it gets really hard,
Yeah, have a
right?
consultant to
We
back up.
could make the applicant pay, we could maybe even use the same person, but I think we should decide on an individual basis.
Mhm.
So what are we making a vote to do? Hire someone part-time, hire someone per
Just-
diem?
On
As needed.
as needed.
You'll call this person and say, hey, I need,
I'll have him come in and meet us at our next meeting, maybe, if he's interested. I mean, I left him, I emailed him a message if he would
And we have
call.
enough money in the budget to pay for this?
Our fees, there's only certain things you can
Yeah.
use those fees
Right.
for,
But
and
how
this
much
is one of them.
do we have in the,
No, I don't know, 30,000 maybe, I don't know,
Okay.
a lot.
okay,
And he can come in and he can talk to us and see what it's gonna be, and just have him do small things, and then put the big things on
yeah,
the
Sure.
applicant like we've been doing.
sure,
Okay,
You need a motion for that? or-
yes, please.
I make a motion to do everything you just said.
Second.
All right, so I will invite him to come to our next meeting if he's willing and able, but like I say, it just seemed like, and I don't think he'd even, from the sound of it, be interested in the job as a whole, because I really think we need to take our time if we need to get a new agent, and
Good luck.
hey, I got my eye on retirees from DEP.
Can we have
Get
a
a
vote
list of
on,
who's retiring from Mass DEP.
can we have a vote on this to make it official?
Yes, please.
Second then.
Okay,
I
all
thought
in
there,
favor?
I thought there was a second, okay.
Oh, I did.
Aye.
Seconded it a second
It was
time.
a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
thank you. All right, so next, purchase of books. I gotta be honest, I really haven't had a time to go
Aye.
through that list to pick books.
And you know, I wanna get hold of, Laurie, because for somehow, my former wife's, my second dead wife, her name got spelled wrong. Don't know how that happened.
We thought you requested it, no?
It's
I don't
to
think
see
we
if
need
you're
Robert's
actually
Rules
paying
of Order.
attention.
Attention, yeah, yeah.
She did it on purpose.
Yeah, in fact, one of the things I wanted to do was get hold of the library director to see what her needs were. on
It's not a
that.
bad idea.
Could we get an assessment of what they have in stock already?
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
good idea.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to attract in native pollinators. I just got stung by a wasp yesterday.
Oh, ouch.
All right, so let's just put that on the next agenda, maybe, and have time to look at the books and get an assessment of what's already at the library,
Yes,
okay? I don't think we need a motion for that. All right, meeting minutes. That we need a motion for. You
make a-
changed them up, right?
I made a, yeah, there were only a couple of minor things.
But did she already correct them?
Oh, yes,
Oh, all right, so
I
it's
meant-
as is.
yeah, yeah, as is, the minute, I make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes for March 26th, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, how's that? All right. Joe, you put the beach leaf disease.
Yes, well, like, this was.
Which is horrible,
This was-
horrible.
This was the original, it took out most of the Sunday Globe magazine, and I knew the answer to the question, what's killing all the beech trees? And I'm really surprised, since we had that first go-round, that we haven't had any real activity, and I know people that are complaining about them dying. Yours are dying in the backyard, right? Nate's losing most of his trees over there,
There were a lot of calls about it last year.
but yeah, and,
Yeah.
and,
I know some people in Lakeville that are complaining about it this year.
yeah.
I've got 3 dead beeches in my front yard. They're
It's
not
okay
dead
with
yet,
dead
but
beeches.
every year they get less leaves and I'm
Mm-hmm.
hurricane, there's one giant, I mean, the beeches
Oh,
get so big. I got a
shit.
giant beech like this that I don't even know, they're gonna need a crane to get it out, but it's like hanging over my house half dead, so I mean,
They're saying it's worms,
Nematodes, right, yeah, we know, yeah.
but they don't know how they got here.
Well, there are,
Connecticut.
yeah, there are solutions. There are solutions. It's weird, this started, I think, in Ohio about 10, 12 years ago. Why it started there, I have no idea, and it spread quite rapidly. They don't know what,
well, it's been everything over the years. First it was the elms,
oh,
then,
yeah.
what was that tree at the Tamarack Mike liked so much? What kind of,
Oh.
that's dead.
Yeah,
It wasn't a tamarack tree. What was that tree? She loved that tree, and there's very few of them left too.
I have a picture of her in the bucket of one of my loaders. I was lifting her up so she could cut a branch. She didn't care. Yeah, I'll ride the bucket, she said. Do we have the,
I'm gonna pass these
you gonna
around.
pass these around?
So everybody got the memo that our next meeting's gonna be at the COA, right?
At 6 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
6 and 7?
Well,
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock and
Oh,
7,
Yeah,
right?
for-
And I tell you, the COA doesn't have that many parking spaces either.
Well, from what that zoning board meeting I went to the other night, and they were taking questions and stuff, so There were empty seats at the library.
Oh, okay.
So, and the senior center, when
She's
we were
back to me
doing,
when you're done.
all right, so we have no more business? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.